Good afternoon, everyone. Igama lami nguBuyiswa Mazibuko from Sil City Institute. I am so happy to have you all here as part of this exciting webinar titled Get to Know Your CBO. As we zoom into important role of community-based organizations that we work closely with, this webinar aims to deliver an exclusive understanding of their importance as well as their impact in KZN, specifically in Pangeni and in Newcastle. The CBOs play a very vital role in rural areas of KZN, addressing social issues, providing support, and ensuring that they bring about positivity in their areas. By acquainting ourselves with our CBOs, we can vividly understand their mission, values, and the services they render. We will discuss the challenges of gender-based violence and femicide that is faced by our communities and the amazing work that is done by our CBOs in these respective communities to address these GBVF challenges. Together, let us break down the barriers that stand in the way of protecting, ensuring that both men and women, girls and boys, are safe and their reproductive rights are respected at all times. Our theme for this month focuses on gender-based violence and femicide. We will start introducing ourselves. Over to you, sis. Nwanda, please
Okay, hi,
introduce
Lisa.
yourself.
Okay,
Hi.
hi everyone. Thank you so much for this platform. My name is Noganda Sitole. I'm from Newcastle and I work for the organization Basadi Foundation. It is an organization that is founded by women, led by women, and it is aimed at protecting women through teaching them their rights, making sure that they are protected, and also empowering them so that they can restore their dignity and be back to their full self and be lively. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nwanda. That was a beautiful introduction. Over to you, Londiwe. Please give us a brief summary of your introduction.
Good day, everyone. My name is Londiwe Mtuma. I work for Pongola Party at Wambonambi in Bangini. Our organization focuses mainly on awareness and prevention campaign on GBV. Thank you.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Londiwe nge-introduction yakho. So since sewukuvezile ukuthi nisebenza kakhulu nge-gender-based violence and femicide, kusho ukuthi this is the right platform and opportunity for you ukuthi usixoxele ngezinto enizenzayo kwi-Pongola Bud. Sizanele, sicela usiphe i-introduction yakho sisi.
Hello everyone, I'm Zanele Xulu. I work for Patsakahle Community Services. We do home-based care and GBV. I'm situated at Sekawini under Ward 21. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sizanele. Over to you, Sizandile.
Sanibonani, igama lami nguZandile ngwakamthimkhulu. Sisuka kwi-organization called Standout Foundation, where we work with men and boys, assisting them to understand the sexual reproductive health and rights for women and girls, so that we create a gender violence-free community through working with men so that they also are able to understand their role into bringing about peace and freedom and equality and for women and girls. We are situated at Mpangeni, number 10 Union Street, but I'm from Kwadlangezwa in the that we do. Some of the programs that we do, we also have a program that we're doing where we are capacitating young boys from grade 10 at Nongweleza High School at Ward 27, City of Mhlathuze. That's where we are focusing on teaching them about sexual reproductive health for women and girls and doing anti-bullying programs there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sisandile, nge-introduction yakho. Kubukeka sengathi uVuyiswa is having a network problem. That is why mhlambe abuye aphume out. Sisandile, since uthintile indaba yokuthi you guys focus more on young girls and boys, like cela usichazele kabanzi ukuthi imaphi izinto enisifundisayo specifically especially kubafana ukuze ba-avoid ukuthi kube ibona abandisa into ye-gender based violence.
Akuzwakali kahle sisibuyisa ngicela uphinde futhi ngiyezwa nje lokhu uyanqamuka kodwa. Can you?
Okay, sorry, I was
repeat that?
asking ukuthi normally because gender based violence femicide is always ihlezi ibhekiswe mhlambe kubantu besifazane nengane. For nina ngoba nithi nibheke kakhulu kubantwana abancane abangabafana nabantu abancane abesifazane, ikuphi enikuthintayo mostly manifundisa abantu besilisa ukuthi benze njani to avoid into ye-gender based violence and femicide?
Okay, mhlawumbe when we work with men, firstly we need to understand ukuthi GBV is not only happening to get to women and girls. It's only femicide, where femicide it's when it's a male a female person is being killed by their partners, then that's where femicide comes in. But gender-based violence, it's where anyone is being violated because of their gender. So a male can be violated by a female and also vice versa. So when we focus on men, we've seen that majority of the perpetrators are men. And we try to get to the root cause why men are so violent. What is it that makes them behave the way they do, and try and get to sit with them down so that we come up with solutions. But again, the other thing that we've discussed and discovered is that so many times the programs are focusing on women. So women are empowered now. They know their rights, they know and everything. So sometimes men feel like they're being left out. It's why now they are retaliating, trying to get their attention so that they can also be capacitated as women have been in the past. So we're trying to reach that gap when we are focusing on men. So we do sexual reproductive health for women, teaching men. For example, we did a program where we were talking about period poverty. We engaged boys so that they understand what's going on when women are on their period, how to be hygienically clean when you are on a period, so that when they grow old, as they become husbands, fathers, they can understand. And also to take away the stigma and dignity around period pains and around any topic that touches women. It can be tradition, can be religious or anything. So if we empower men with those information, it's easy for them to understand that, okay, these are the rights for women.
Okay, thank you so much, Sisandile, for highlighting the importance of including abantu besilisa in programs, especially in educating and giving information about about GBVF. Sis Vuyiswa, you were out for a second, so you missed the introduction part. Please introduce yourself and give us a brief summary of the work that you do in your organization.
Sanibonani, igama lami uVuyiswa Mbatha, ngisuka kwintando Community Project, okuyi-organization that is based eMpangeni dealing in areas around King Cetshwayo district. The focus of this organization is on women and children, but we are not saying ukuthi, it's only them who are being affected by the issue of gender-based violence. Yes.
Okay, imaphi mhlambe ama-activities sisivuyiso ongathi niyawenza as part of addressing ama-issues e-GBVF?
Okay. What we normally do as an organization is we render door-to-door services or awareness, dialogue, where like we sit down with women, we educate them ukuthi they should speak up if ever they are being victims of gender-based violence. We also link them with service provider that are local to Mpangeni that could help them, and we also encourage them ukuthi to teach at home ukuthi what is GBV and how to stay at a violent-free GBV-free zone areas.
Thank you so much, Vuyiswa. Sis Londiwe, can you just give us a brief, tell us about the work that you do in your organization?
Okay, thank you so much. The activities that we do community dialogues with the youth, whereby we discuss the issues that we are facing right now. Normally we used to give our topics things like now we are breaking the silence towards GBV, where we discuss GBV signs, we discuss the importance of speaking up, we discuss the places to go for help. And also we also have programs for children like child abuse and also bullying in schools. For child abuse, where we teach children their rights and also to tell them the importance of reporting these issues. And we also do school awarenesses campaign. We also do community awareness campaign and also door-to-door.
Okay, Sis Londiwe, so please tell us ukuthi, if there's a case where mhlambe you are doing a campaign and there's someone or experience issue ye gender-based violence, how do you guys make sure ukuthi they are comfortable enough ukuthi banitshele or baya kulezi ndawo enibatshela zona ukuthi zi-safe for bona ukuthi bayo-report ama-cases wabo kuzo?
Yeah, some they report, but mostly we refer them to relevant stakeholders, Lifeline and social development.
Okay, thank you so much. Suzanele, over to you. Just give us a brief summary of what you do in your organization. Zanele. Okay, Noganda, can you please take over and give us a brief summary of what you do in your organization?
Okay, thank you. So in Basadi Foundation, we have awareness campaigns, we have dialogues, and also we have presentation that actively involves children in the, please excuse me for a minute.
Okay, since Nowanda is having issues, Zanele, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, sisicela usiphe isummary yemsebenzi eniyenzayo kwiPhatha Kahle.
Okay. At Phatha Kahle, we do community services like door-to-door and GBV. Good door-to-door, we have caregivers. Caregivers are the people that make the services like detecting the GBV. Then abanye bakho area they got time ukuthi bakhulume nabo babaxwayise nangobugebengu obenzeka la kwi-ward. Then they report to iPhatha Kahle, then uPhatha Kahle atholakale.
Okay, I think Zanele is having inkinga ye network. Over to you, Nowanda.
Okay, thank you. Apologies again for the disturbance. Okay, firstly, I was saying that we have dialogues, we have presentations where we actively involve children in educating them about gender-based violence and femicide. And we also make sure that in our campaigns, we invite stakeholders from various departments so that they can do presentations and also educate kids about gender-based violence and femicide. Also, we also have dialogues in community halls and make sure that we get as much people in the community as possible to be involved. One of the things that we do during our dialogue, we hand out pamphlets that have information about who to contact, whether it's gender-based violence and femicide reporting, whether you want to know more information about it, or whether you need maybe counseling, mental support when you're not ready to be out of that relationship or that situation, but at least you are preparing yourself mentally so that you can move. We also offer trainings depending on what we see that the woman can absorb. Whether, for example, we've once held a training for makeup for those women who are interested, especially survivors, so that they can stand on their own and be able to move from that relationship and start life afresh and have dignity.
Okay, thank you so much, Noganda. That was beautiful. So as a follow-up question, you mentioned Uti, your focus on the learners and the community at large. From the activities that you have done, have you guys gotten any reports from activities mhlawumbe abantu would come up but from the campaign that you had, sitholile this and this, but we want more or we need help ngalezi nalezi zinto?
Okay, I think one of the most interesting things that have happened is that we actually get calls from teachers saying, we've seen you posting this on your page. Can you please come and assist in school? Because we may have a bullying problem or gangsterism problem. So can you please come in and do a presentation about gender-based violence and femicide? Can you please, what kind of stakeholders you work with? And then we'd say, we do have SAPS, we do have Lifeline. So we would go and assist in schools, do presentations, and then after open space for children to speak up and just have an active dialogue so that we can see what are the problems that are in schools. I think one of the problems that learners keep mentioning, it is the relationship with their parents. So they say that they feel that they are being neglected at home. So most of them may have anger issues and they turn into crime, they turn into bullying other learners. So it's something that we've tried, and we also have follow-ups whereby we also invite mothers in community halls and try to speak to them, because I think the most important thing is trying to find the roots of the problem so that you can be able to fix everything, not that you just do presentation and walk away, but fixing a mother-child relationship or whoever is in the family is very important so that the learners can start looking life in a different eye.
Okay, thank you so much, Noganda. So Noganda basically is telling us ukuthi not only children need education on gender-based violence and femicide, also nabazali ukuze ba-understand ukukhula kwabantwana ukuthi iziphi izinto kumele bazigweme ekhaya ukuze umntwana angabi nomthelela omumbi kwabanye abantwana, especially esikoleni agcine ekhiphela kubona i-anger yabo ngenxa yezinto ezenzakala ekhaya. So in summary, guys, can we share our successes and challenges that we are having uma ngabe si-implement these projects or programs in the schools or in our communities? Over to you, Sis Zanele. I'm not sure if your network yakho is okay now. Okay, I think network ya Sis Zanele is slow. Sis Zanele.
Sorry, guys.
Vuyiswa, I'm sorry, Vuyiswa, as success stories for us as we stand out, we managed to have a radio show. We are featured on Ikora FM every Tuesday, where we talk GBV issues, social ills issues. It's a 30-minute slot. It's called Difficult Conversations. We are in the morning show from 10 to 11 every Tuesday. That's one. And then also we managed to work with Igingindlovu police station and it's a neighboring municipality. So we've grown to other municipality. I remember we had a march on the 10th of August, where we were marching against a woman that was killed in beginning of the year this year. So we've strengthened partnership outside the city of Umhlathuze now with other partners like Umlalazi municipality, King Ndlovu police station, and where we're dealing directly with the victims of GBV around that area, and also in Empangeni. And also the religious sector, where we go to churches now, that where we go and talk GBV, and also traditional leadership. Last week in Inkosi Mtuba municipality, we met the newly crowned king, where we're still going to do GBVF programs with him, and at that royal level, where he's gonna go call his Induna, all the traditional leaders, so that we can come and have difficult conversation with them. So we have expanded a bit from this program. Thank you.
Okay, Zandile, you touched based on stakeholders' involvement. So how would you describe e-relation or support in Itolai from the stakeholders that you just mentioned?
It's the relations that we have built and created. They are enabling us to map the violent-free zones in these areas that we are working in, more especially because at least here in Empangeni, we've got more than 7 organizations that are focusing on GBV. So when you go out to these other municipalities that I've just mentioned, you find that there are few organizations that are working on GBV. So when we get there, we just talk a different language. So it's easier also to access the communities when you work with the people that they trust. So we find it has strengthened our relationship to schools, the principals. Yeah, it's good.
So what are some of the challenges that you are having Maneza Lama programs?
Okay, the challenges okay, at first, because when you go to schools, you must introduce yourself to the governing body, to the community leaders. So sometimes it becomes difficult when you come and say you're doing sexual reproductive health. So it's sex. They think you want to teach their children sex, and then you have to sit down with them and explain now that you are giving them the sexual reproductive health, try and explain it to them. And also in the rural areas, males, because we are focusing on males, our program is focused on males. So sometimes they think that we are there to neutralize them so that they lose their rights over women. So sometimes it becomes difficult for men.
Okay, I think Usazandile is having a challenge with network yake. Back to you, Sis Voiswa. Can you please tell us some of the successes and challenges that you're facing in implementing these activities or programs? Voiswa.
Thank you, Buiswa. The success. Hello. Thank you, Buiswa. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The success that we have as an organization is that we have been able to build relationship with University of Ungoye. We have a relationship with Dr. Mkize, who has the knowledge of gender-based violence. In other words, now we are expanding our programs because we want to find more knowledge. We want our staff to be more educated about GBV and to have the skills that are required so that we are going to be able to go forward with these programs that we're implementing. We are also engaging with Inkosi Yakwamthethwa so that he can help us with mobilizing amadoda endaweni, because with men they are so hard to understand indaba ye-GBV. They think we are trying to change them, to change the way that they do things, to change their beliefs, that as we understand the norms that are in the norms that are in our communities are the same ones that lead men into abusing women and not to respecting them.
Okay, Sisvuyiswa. So since ubala abantu that are involved in activities that you guys do, compared to into ebeyikhona or ama-reports abekhona before you guys started doing education on gender-based GBVF, yini ongayisho ukuthi sehlukile manje, as manje sebenolwazi ngokuthi kumele bayeke before ukureporta ama-cases wabo, and yini kumele bangayenzi to avoid i-GBVF?
Okay. Now, as an organization, we have identified an improvement in attendance of EMA programs that we are running in communities. We know that it's still early to say that now the community is no longer a part of this illness. It is still there. There's still a lot that we need to do, but we can say the efforts that we have and that we have put it so far can be able to put us somewhere where we were going to say now the community is free from the harmful practices.
Okay, but what are some of the challenges that you guys are having in implementing these?
The challenges is, like some people, we're giving them information, but then it's hard for them to practice the things that we say, like if you are being a victim, you must speak up, you must report. Some people, they still don't want to speak up. They're still living in those situations. They don't want to come up. It's like we are lacking on empowering them enough so that they can be able to take decision on themselves.
Okay, thank you so much, Sisvuyiswa. Kuyabonakala ukuthi kuningi esingakwenza, but still kukhona esingakwazi ukushintsha, especially ukuforce abantu ukuthi ba-open up ngezinkinga abadlula kuzona nakwizimo abadlula kuzona. Over to you, Sisilondiwe. Sicela usiphe just a brief summary of your challenges and success stories.
Thank you so much. I'll start with the success stories. We were very lucky and very fortunate to be working together with Inhlansi Yethemba, which is a man-led organization down there, which is giving us a very good opportunity. They've been there for so many years, so we are working with them at Gwambonambi. And also working with the partners that we got from Operation Sugumasake. The relationships were easily built there. So we're working with all stakeholders, all the departments, and also with the municipality. The challenges that we face, I think people even today, they are still unable to speak up. I don't know what is happening, but we are still instilling this thing that you should speak up in order for you to be free, in order for GBV not to repeat itself on you, you need to speak up.
Okay, thank you so much, Sisilondiwe. So kuma-meetings mhlambe eniba nawo or during programs, kuyenzeka mhlambe kube khona abantu abazivezayo ukuthi bayadinga usizo?
Abantu uma sesiwenzile ama-programs Vuyiswa, you never uzokwazi ngokuthi ethi ngicela ungiphe inamba yaka-Lifeline, ngicela ungiphe inamba yalana engingaya khona. They are still afraid. They really 90% of people, they will ask for the number privately, not even in front of people.
Do you guys make follow-ups mhlambe on cases that have been reported?
Yes, with Lifeline, because we are having a very close relationship with them.
and how's the process? Is it mhlambe, are they getting any assistance?
Sorry?
Are they getting
Sorry,
any
boys.
assistance?
Yes, they do get assistance. They do get assistance. They will go for counseling. If cases needs to be open, they will help them with all of that, because that is what you want to see. You want to see justice for them. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Londiwe. So Sis Londiwe is giving us a brief summary of how other cases that are being reported are being followed, and siyabona ukuthi there is somewhere la siyakhona assisting people who are victims of gender-based violence and femicide. So kokuncane esikwenzayo, there's something we can improve. Abantu, they get referred to departments that are relevant. Sis Nwanda, please give us your challenges and your success stories.
Okay, thank you, Buyiswa. I'd say the challenges that we've faced so far would be times at school. The time slot is very little because we are using time for the learners to learn. So usually we have to be very brief and just straight to the point. So sometimes we feel like we didn't say as much information as needed, and sometimes the community halls people would arrive late and we'd end up not finishing what we had come to say. Another challenge is that when you work with religious and traditional leaders, we end up having arguments. For example, during Pride Month in June, we held an event where we're celebrating the LGBTQI plus community and also raising awareness about the gender-based violence that they also face. What happened was there were so many traditional leaders, as we live in a rural urban area, and there were also traditional healers. They had so many questions to ask, but luckily we had the Newcastle Pride Legends, which is an LGBTQI plus organization. They were able to answer most of the questions, but at the end of the day you could see that some of the questions are not to learn, but they're just trying to provoke the issue of the LGBTQI plus community. So sometimes it comes as a challenge because there are different people who are attending community halls, and some they are not coming on a positive view, but they're just coming there to attack the program or to try and just show there's maybe the LGBTQI plus is something that doesn't exist. They're trying to force their beliefs in people. Some of the successes that we have is that we have a good relationship with the local radio station. They always allow us to announce whichever program that we're going to have. And secondly, we have a good relationship with the principals where we've had our events. They can call us. They know they can call us anytime for more information. Another thing is that visibility is very important. We've been very active in our Facebook page, and so it allows people, community learners, everyone to just say something on our page. If they need help, they know that they can just reach us, send us an inbox, and they know that they can get help anytime. We also have so many stakeholders in our community, the SAPS, we have the social development, we have Lifeline, we have Tutuzela Care Center. So all those stakeholders make our job easier. We know when someone comes to report, we know who to refer them to. When someone needs counseling, we know how to refer them. So those are our successes.
Thank you so much, Nwanda. So by the look of things, most of us here are having a good relationship with our stakeholders within our local communities. Okwenza kube lula umsebenzi wethu ukuthi ukwazi ukufinyelela, especially nakoma-traditional leaders, nakubantu abadala nabantu abancane, especially in schools, abantwana abancane ezama ukubafundisa nge-gender-based violence. So in your opinion, what would be the best approach to address GBVF? Sis Vuyiswa?
Thank you, Buyiswa. I think it's best to firstly understand the different communities that people live under. You need to apply the solutions that will link with the norms and the standard of that community. We need to start with doing a research before going to community and say we are offering awareness and education and what. Because the thing with gender-based violence, it starts with the belief of the person. That is why when you go to a family, you need to understand what do they believe in, what made them to believe in that, so that we can be able to start and challenge those beliefs, those norms, and those standards.
Okay,
Thank
that
you.
is beautiful, Sis Vuyiswa. Yes, I think kubalulekile ukuthi si-understand-e imvelaphi yabantu ukuze sikwazi ukuthi ngendlela esibafundisa ngayo kube indlela abazokwazi uyi-understand-a ngayo. Sis Londiwe, what are some of what is, in your opinion, what are best approaches that we could use to address the issue ye-GBVF?
Thank you. The strategies that I believe that we should use, if it's possible for us to get the stats of GBV to be shared with the community or with the public, so people will know what this thing is happening, this thing is real. Because sometimes sizogcina sifuna ngazuthi sikhuluma nge-language yabo esifuna bayizwe, only that, but lento iyaqhubeka iyenzeka. I-GBV is there, GBV is happening. Abantu ngazuthi we can teach them every day lokho ukuthi ikhona, iyaqhubeka.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Londiwe. Over to you, Sis Zandile. What are some of approaches that you think would work best?
I think our colleagues have said most of the approaches that we normally do, but working in rural areas, you need to first understand the dynamic of the area that you are or to work to, so that when you approach the GBV, you also know what is the most common practice that is in that area that leads to GBV, and then you work on that. For example, if you're going to the church, most of the time you won't talk about beatings. Some of the things you have to go around so that they understand. So it's in the dynamic of the environment or the community that you work in. But especially with us, stand out because working with men. Sometimes it's not like we encourage them to be perpetrators, but we also encourage them to be able to report the cases. We also teach the police that they must not laugh at the men when they come and report. So those things. And sometimes we also highlight the fact that not only women and girls that are being raped, also boys are being raped. I think we've got an issue in 19 Mlala's municipality where there's supposedly a man who targets men for rape. So some of those things. So it depends really on the dynamic of the area and the approach that you use, especially as with working with men. So our approach is making them to understand first the human rights for women and girls, so that we are able to they are able to.
Okay, I think Sis Zandile has just disconnected, and also Sis Zanele from Patakahle na disconnected. I think now she's having challenges with network. Over to you, Nokwanda. Please share your opinions on the approaches that would work best for your organization.
I think that's the best approach to gender-based violence and femicide is calling a spade a spade. Because one of the things that we cannot do is try and understand someone's belief and try and understand someone's opinion when it comes to abusing a certain person. It is very important that we teach the truth exactly as it is, so that people can understand that gender-based violence and femicide has nothing to do with tradition and beliefs. When someone comes from a traditional home where they say that the father is the head of a house, so he controls everything, he's beating up their mother, we can't say respect your father because he's the head of a house. What you have to do is report so that you can get help. Same thing when it comes to churches, with this stigma of always saying that men should be women should always be humble upon their husbands. It doesn't work like that. When it comes to gender-based violence, you have to call a spade so that we can take the problem uproot the problem and make sure that everyone has the right information, everyone has the right knowledge. Because now, if we would be to massage people's feelings, then we would not be ending the problem. It means that we want to be dynamic about the problem. Just look at where we are at what time before we can say the right information. I think that it has nothing to do with looking where you are with what type of people. You just have to tell the truth and give the right information.
That was powerful, Nowanda. Thank you so much. Just one more question. From the approaches that you have used previously or that you are currently using, which one would you say works best for you? Nowanda?
Personally, I think that for me, speaking the truth is very important. As we keep going to schools, doing presentation, and also as we held the debates, which had the topic "Men should spearhead the fight against gender-based violence," we allowed boys to participate, and we realized that at the end of the day, men could be raised to be the ones who are stronger, but deep down they are humans and they actually want to end this. Because sometimes most of the boys who are involved in gender-based violence, they do not do it voluntarily. Sometimes a kid grow up seeing their parent being abused and they have this anger and they're taking it out. But if you are opening a space for them to learn that sometimes as a person you make mistakes, but this is how you can fix it, they come forward, they speak about this, and they say that they want to be better men, because now there are so many opportunities for men. I think I had one of the speakers, I'm not sure if it was from Stand Out Foundation or Sis Londi, were speaking about the fact that they are working with organizations that have men, so men are able to come in and teach the young boys. That is a good thing, because one of our mistakes is going just to speak about with women only, and that is excluding the real problem, because most statistics show that it is women who are abused. So we should handle this with the utmost truth and make sure that everyone is involved so that we can end gender-based violence and femicide.
Okay, thank you so much, Nowanda. You guys have touched based on Bantu that we need to involve in addressing our issues with GBVF. But do you guys have mhlambe other people that you feel would they need to be part of a movement so that we fast forward these cases, or mhlambe we spend more time educating, or mhlambe there's more information that we can get from them esingakwazi ukuthi si-deliver to our young boys and girls and community at large? Vuyiswa? Okay, I think Uvuyiswa is having a slow connection. Londiwe?
Buyiswa, can you repeat the question?
Okay, the question is, do you feel ukuthi kunabantu that are not involved kule nto ye-GBVF that you feel ukuthi there is an importance of them ukuthi babe khona so that we fast track the cases or we fast track these issues of GBVF?
The people, abantu bakhona Vuyiswa, inkinga esiba nayo ilapha enkantolo, the magistrates, you understand. Abantu they do report cases, sasekuseni ubonakala umuntu sekaphumile, yabona. We don't know ngelinye ilanga mhlampe masingake sichazeleke ukuthi kusuke kwenzakalani laphaya.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for highlighting that. We know ukuthi there are some cases vele aphelele emoyeni angaresolvekanga. So that's why sidinga more people to be involved ukuze sikwazi ukuthi imiphi iminyango e-right for our people to go to ukuze bakwazi ukusizakala fast nangokusizakala ngeqiniso. No wonder, do you have any people that you feel ukuthi they need to be part of this process of trying to eradicate GBVF?
I think that for me, it has to be parents. Like whoever is an adult at home needs to have these kind of discussions with their kids, because we as organizations can only go up too far. We can come for that hour, 30 minutes, try and do a presentation, give information, but what the child will take most of the time is what they are being taught at home. There are certain principles and dynamics that have to come from home for a person to believe and actually stand for themselves. And another thing that I've noticed is that women who do not have any financial stability always tolerate certain things in their homes, and it ends up affecting the child. So for me, it has to be whoever is an adult at home. Parents really need to teach about gender-based violence and femicide to their kids so that we can combat this problem.
Okay, thank you so much, Nwanda. So as a follow-up question, from the activities that you have hosted, especially Goma communities with parents involved and community involved, do you think it is effective enough for bona ukuthi bakwazi ukusebenzisa the same information ukukhulisa abantwana babo emakhaya?
I think that it is very effective. We were once invited by Social Development on a family day where they invited families, where we would discuss what is a family structure, how to support each other in a family, what principles are good for family. So it was one of those programs where we're trying to combat and make sure that people understand the importance of a solid family structure where you teach good principles, because sometimes a child goes to the world where they just take anything that comes because they do not have a solid family structure and they do not have aligned principle as a family. So I think that it's working, it will work if we continue pushing families to build each other up.
Thank you so much, Nwanda. By the look of things, we've challenges with the connection. So we have 3 people that have been kicked out by Network Yabo. But to continue, do you guys have any upcoming plans in specifically in addressing these issues of GBVF? Londiwe, you can go first.
Yes, we do have an upcoming peaceful march, which will be held in September, which is our Heritage Month. We are still pleading and begging the community to go back to our bases. Then we decided to do it ngenyanga yamasiko, where we'll be discussing izinto kuqala ezazenza ukuthi GBV ingabi ngaka. So we just think that it is coming in September. The date is still to be confirmed.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Londiwe. Sis Vuyiswa, you missed a question on besifuna ukwazi ukuthi ibaphi abantu or which departments that need to be involved with process of eradicating GBVF in our communities.
Buyiswa, I think with the issue of GBV, everyone should be involved nje. Ama-NGOs, government, amasonto, everyone, guys, is responsible for this thing ngoba inkulu kakhulu ukuthi ngenziwa ama-NPOs kuphela. And we know that with South Africa inama-scarce resources, kunzima ukuthi kungangaba bikho i-partnership. Ngicabanga ukuthi ilokho nje.
Okay, thank you so much. So in closing, what are your upcoming plans nizowenza with regards to GBVF?
Plans that we have as an organization, we are trying to engage abantu besilisa. We want to to encourage them ukuthi they must take lead with GBV emphakathini, because it's not like we are trying to say they are bad people or what, but we want to see them taking lead. We want to see them being the one being responsible in their families and in their communities, and we want to see them being the one who are coming with solutions so that we can see that we are living in a community that is free from GBVF.
Okay, so from the experience eseniyenzile kuma-activities or kuma-programs, i-involvement yabantu besilisa ikangakanani in those activities?
Abantu, they are involved. Abantu besilisa are involved. It's just that, you know, like people, they have their motives. You can find that during our discussion and meetings, they participate. They do come up with solutions. They do want to be really engaged in other plannings and other programs that you want to implement. But when they get it home, something else happens. They just go back into their suits and do those kind of things or activities that put women and children at risk.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Uvuyiswa. Clearly, kukhona esingakwenza outside, but asikwazi ukushintsha izimo zasemakhaya. But as Unokwanda has mentioned, ukuthi bona they are educating more kuma family building. So I think that is also important for bona ukuthi bakwazi ukufundisana bebodwa emakhaya wabo ukubaluleka kokuziphatha, especially uma ungaphandle kwabanye abantu, nokuphatha kahle abanye abantu, especially abangasiyona ifamily yakho. Sizandile, what are your upcoming plans?
As I have said, every Tuesday we've got a radio show. So that one is continuing as an upcoming event. Every Tuesday we are in Kora FM from 10:30 to 11. And then during the month of September, Inyanga Yamaku. So we are going to be focusing more on traditional leaders, where we're going to have difficult conversation dialogues with traditional leaders, and involving more men and older men now, because now we've been working in the school, so we're involving, so where older men will be sharing their experiences with young men in terms of preventing GBVF and other cultural things that they can learn, so that they become partners and to their female counterparts.
Okay, thank you so much, Sister Ndile. So from the challenges that you guys are having, especially when you're implementing these activities, which solutions that you think would be best to avoid mhlambe such challenges, or yini engayenza kangcono ukuthi mhlambe nikwazi uku-addressa those challenges? Zandile?
Yabona nje, yes, for me, as an organization that is working with men and the organization is female-led, sometimes one of the challenges, maybe umuntu forgot to mention, ukuthi in this dialogue, sometimes I'm not allowed in there because I'm a female. Amadoda ayangipha angiphume ngaphandle because they want to discuss their issues. So it becomes a challenge because I won't be there to listen to their challenges and be able to link them to them. So what I've done, we had him, Uspamandla, who is a man who is part of these dialogues, but we're looking into getting more men as part of the facilitators of the program, because our program is male focused. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Sandile. Sis Vuyiswa, what do you guys would want to do to avoid challenges that you've been having previously?
Thank you, Vuyiswa. I think in order to avoid the challenges, we want, as an organization, to grow, to say we have more staff so that we are able to reach other areas around King Drive, and so that we are able to respond to the issues of everyone. Because you see, like we can't always rely on referring our survivors to other service centers. We also need to build up that resilient. We need more services, we need more staff so that everything will go smooth.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Vuyiswa. Over to you, Noganda.
Okay, thank you, Buisa. So some of the challenges that we've had, we've decided that we're gonna have continuous meetings with stakeholders such as the traditional leaders, and other stakeholders such as SAPS, social development. We're gonna have meeting when it comes to the LGBTQI plus community so that we can challenge each other before we can do any presentations in front of the community, so that we can see how we can align our values and principles instead of just arguing in front of the community as if we came in unprepared. And also for schools, we are trying to do our presentations more during break times, and also make sure that we bring something small for lunch so that kids can always be excited and pay attention and know that they are looking forward to be eating something at the end of every presentation. Also, we are trying to get more slots on the local radio, because most of the time we always have programs maybe once or twice every after a week or two times a week. So we're just trying to get more slots so that we can reach a larger audience.
Okay. Mhlambe yini any plan ukuyenza to reach those larger amount of people?
Okay, as I have mentioned, we're going to use our local radio stations. We're going to continue handing out pamphlets. And another thing is making sure that we are always active on our social media pages.
Okay, thank you so much, Nawanda. That was beautiful. And the fact that you mentioned which you guys have an active page for people to engage and bakwazi ukubona khona umsebenzi wenu eniwenzayo as iBasadi. That is very beautiful. Over to you, Londiwe. What are your plans in addressing the challenges?
Thank you, Buyiswa, again. The challenges are there, Buyiswa. We still need more staff, so we'll be able to reach amawadi amaningi, because at the moment staff asikho. And also more services are needed. We need social workers in our organizations. Not all the time when a client comes, you refer them to where they need to be referred. It would be nice one day to find that you get a nurse here, I get a social worker here, I get every service that I need. But we pray for that it's going to happen. We also, the working relationships are very much important with all the stakeholders. That makes the thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Londiwe. So would you say ukuthi kulaba bantu ebeniba involve, there is still a gap that you need to close? Because you mentioned abantu that are already involved and there are still some challenges. Do you feel ukuthi there's more action that needs to happen mhlambe to address those challenges? Londiwe? Okay, I think Sis Londiwe is having inkinga ye-network. Oh yes. Also, we missed so much from Ipatakahle since Zanele has been kicked out, and I'm not sure if mhlambe she's failing ukuthi aphinde rejoin futhi this conversation. Sis Londiwe, you're back.
Yes, Sisi. Yes,
Yes,
I'm
I
back.
was thinking ukuthi, from the partnership that you have with stakeholders. Do you feel ukuthi there's anything else that you guys would do since there are challenges even if back on? Like what work for everyone?
Yes, there will be a difference in Buyiswa. Because even now it's not the same, the situation. Abantu bayaqala manje iyangena lento yokuthi siya reporter we are speaking up. So if everyone ngisho hamba nje telling people the importance of reporting, we're gonna fight this.
Okay, thank you so much, Sis Londiwe. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Even though abanye bebengakwazi mhlambe uku-engage enough ngenxa ye-network, and that is understandable because of izindawo esihlala kuzona. In rural areas, we're having izinto zama-challenges, especially a network. Thank you so much, guys, for sparing your time ukuthi nibe nathi nisixoxele kabanzi ngama-organization wenu eniwona. If there's anything you guys want to say, mhlambe platforms where abantu banganithola khona, just 2 lines. Yeah, right. Splendid. Do you guys have a Facebook page where people can engage mhlambe and look into Msebenzi Wenu?
Yes, you can follow us at Pongola Party on Facebook, Pongola Party.
Thank you so much, Sis Londiwe. I want to express my utmost gratitude to all of you for joining us today. This was a beautiful experience. Thank you so much for your information. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Buyiswa.
Thank you so much, Buyiswa.